So there's one thing I've never understood is how people beat their chests and say, I'm so proud of being A, being B, being C. Usually it's something like, I'm so proud of being from this country. I'm so proud of being a man. I'm so proud of, this color. Why? I don't get it. I've never understood it. You had no control over that. Let's say, for example, the people who beat their chests and say, I'm so proud of being an American. You know. Okay, well, if you were born in Japan, you'd say the same thing. In a different way, of course. But same in China. Same in England, Australia. Wherever you're born, you would be saying the exact same thing. You had no control over it. So why is it something you're proud of? I've always felt like people who take pride in, I was born this gender, I was born this color, I was born this nationality, these are people who, in general, have accomplished little to nothing in their lives to be proud of. So they take pride in something that they actually did nothing to achieve. Now, let me give you a conditional here. If you were born in another country, and you went through the long and difficult and scary process of immigrating, of going, let's say, to America, changing your nationality, leaving behind everything you know, everything that you grew up with, you can say it because you put in the effort. You made the active change. But if it's something that you were born with, that you were born into, again, why are you proud of it? You did nothing to achieve it. And I find that the people who take pride in this type of stuff, who take pride in things that they did not achieve, they're the ones who actively make it worse. You know, for example, if you talk to someone, and I had this experience a lot in China. If I talk to someone in China, and I said, in China, here's a problem. Some people are very reasonable and say, yes, it is a problem. And we would have a great conversation. And identifying that problem doesn't mean that we are against a country or hate a country. It means that we care about the country improving, at least from our perspective. We care about the country improving, so we think from our perspective, if we fix this problem, or if this problem can be fixed, it would help everyone. So being critical of a country, for example, doesn't mean you're against the country. It means that you actively want the country to become better. So you're having a conversation about how can it become better. But if you're the type of person where you say, la, 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 I don't want to hear it. You're saying something bad about my country, la, la, la. Well, then you don't actually love your country. It's just your ego. If you actually care about your country, you should be the first person to be critical. You should be the first person to want to have the conversation, talk about the problems so that they can be identified. And then once they're identified, hopefully, next step, take action to fix the problems. That's actively improving your country. But if you are one of these hyper-patriots, hyper-nationalists where I'm so proud of being born in my country, in my personal experience, the people like that are the ones who typically don't listen, which actively, maybe passively, maybe a better word, but they're not doing anything to help their country. They're pulling their country down. And then when the people who actually want the country to become better start identifying issues, then they actively try to silence those people. So yeah, actively is the right word. So again, I don't get it. Take pride in things that you accomplish. Take pride in things that you achieve. If you've done nothing to earn it, why are you proud of it? And let's take the next step. If you are one of these people who go, la, 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 I'm proud of my country, I love my country, great, okay, fine. Love your country, fine. But be critical of it. Be open to those conversations. Be open to listen. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter where the criticism is coming from. So if the criticism is coming from someone who's also from your country or from someone who's not from your country, it doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. both of those groups of people offer perspectives, different perspectives. I always tell my students, if I'm inside the picture, my perspective is facing outwards like this. But if I step outside of the picture, I can have another perspective. I can see over there and I can see over there. So my perspective can change. So it's like people who are foreigners to your country. They have a different perspective. And just because they're a foreigner, just because they were not born and raised there, doesn't mean that their perspective is not valid. They have a different perspective. They've had a different experience from yours. So they know some things that maybe you don't know. So listen to them. They might have insight that could help you and help the country as well. So again, don't take pride in something that you had no control over. Take pride in things that you could control, that you actively made a choice in. And if you do love your country where you're from, actively work to make it better. Don't shut down other people. Open your ears, have conversations, have disagreements. Perfectly fine. Have disagreements, reasonable conversations. And then we can all work together to make everything better for everyone. That's my viewpoint on it. Anyway, that's my ramble today. Have a great day.